the chopper, solid as a rocker. Top of the chopper, scream of the cropper. Top of the chopper, solid as a rocker. Top of the chopper, scream of the cropper. Top of the chopper, solid as a rocker. Top of the chopper, scream of the cropper. Top of the chopper, solid as a rocker.
Welcome to Yusuf Beg's talk show, and today we have Kiran Makijani, a psychologist. All right, a very good morning, and we have today Kiran Makijani, right? Makijani, if I'm not wrong. Okay, I had
Yes.
a friend, okay, almost of the same name, so I still remember. So I am so happy, first of all, to have you on the show. You are a psychologist, and I was like, thinking about this whole subject, because most of the people have this, what is psychologists and psychiatrists? They just mix up everything exactly like me. I mean, layman, can't help it. So, Kiran, how are things, by the way, with you? I think you are in lectures, right now?
Yeah, I teach. So,
Okay, and how exactly are things going in COVID?
except that we are doing everything online, I think everything is fine.
This online, I can understand how far. I don't know how far it will go. I think people are already getting married, I mean, online. I don't know how far that will go right now. So,
Yeah.
coming back to you, Kiran, I mean, where did you do studies from? How was your school? How was your life? Will you please give me a small brief about it?
So, if we have to go to school, I'm an ex-Scottishite. I'm
Oh.
from Bombay, Scottish. And I did my master's in clinical psychology. That's the most recent qualification that I could say, 5 years ago, though.
Okay.
And I keep doing a lot of stuff. I'm a mental health enthusiast, a mental health advocate, and
Wow.
of course, my psychology bit. So I practice as a psychologist and also teach at a college, at
Okay.
National College.
That's awesome. I think I've got the right person to speak to. So, taking it further, so will you please give me a small gist? What exactly is the difference between psychiatrist, sociologist, and psychologist?
Okay, so if I have to, I'll be very brief on this.
Okay.
But a psychologist is one who would be working with the mental health aspects, but does not prescribe the medicines.
Okay.
The psychiatrist would go one further and prescribe medicines, and a sociologist would be someone who, if related to the mental health part of it, supporting, reaching out or creating the environment. But major work happens from the psychologist and psychiatrist point of view when it comes to dealing with mental health.
Okay. Okay. So that's the best explanation you can give. Probably, I'm getting that point right now. So, by the way, how do you evaluate? Okay, I mean, if I'm mentally healthy or anybody is mentally healthy, how do you evaluate that?
So actually, that's really very interesting because we many a times set parameters. If this thing is there, then we are fine. If this thing is not there, then we are not okay. Of course, there are those certain parameters that we have, but a lot of it has to do with how we are dealing with the situations and our experiences. We can't have only those fixed parameters that if I say, okay, it's not as easy as saying that you have fever, you have 101 temperature, you need to get admitted and you need to do things. That's like we have a clear-cut thing. But when it comes to mental health, it's not always that definite. Of course, when we know that it is increasing the severity, we have psychological tests backing us up. That's something that I also personally enjoy. It's like you do those things and you get information. But I would say you can see if your functioning is getting affected, if your stress levels are getting going too high, your anger, sleep patterns getting disrupted, eating patterns getting disrupted, or you just do not enjoy going out, or you're seeing those changes coming in. So those are the things that you could use for an evaluation. That's basic premise for an evaluation.
Okay, so because I somewhere have a question now. There are books, okay, which have come out right now these days about talking about EQ and IQ. So is that the cues you're adding and you're trying to evaluate? Is that the thing? I mean, I'm just trying to see if that fits.
So if I have to talk about EQ, IQ, now EQ is a concept that has recently come into development. More people talking about it. We need to have our emotional quotient all set right.
Yes.
But it is a fact. You need to have a balance in your IQ and your EQ. It does work, but it's just that I very strongly believe it always existed. It's just that we didn't see it.
Oh.
And we never gave it a thought. It's just that now in schools, colleges, workplace, EQ, because there have been so many things coming out.
True.
Everybody is just running behind that one aspect. But well, it is a lot more than just the IQ or just the EQ.
I agree, because I think I heard SQ, okay, that is social quotient. And
yeah.
I don't know how many quotients have we tested on. So coming to one more thing, okay, so let's say, for example, like we have muscles, we have, we go to gym and we do exercise. Is there any mental exercise you feel is very important these days to keep,
for me,
healthy?
I would just say, the mental exercise is self-care. Okay, in your 24 hours of your functioning of a particular day, take that once time, just do something that you like, do something that can help you de-stress. It could be as simple as just sitting in front of the TV and drinking a glass of water.
Oh wow.
As long as it's working for you, or it's just a cup of tea, or just catching up, looking at a picture also. Many a times I even advise this, when people get a little too restless, especially in COVID time. So good coping mechanism that they came up with, they started just seeing pictures.
Okay.
That 1 minute, it just gives you that push and you're there. So you don't have to do anything extravagant or any thing like as going as to the pub or something, but it can be as simple as just sitting in front of the TV and drinking water. Okay. That is what I call a perfect brain exercise. Just do something that you have for yourself.
Okay, that's really awesome. I think in COVID, people had so much of their time. I don't know, apart from watching TV and having water, they would have definitely done a lot of things. Okay, I have one more thing. Okay, so I mean, this psychiatrist, this whole brain game which you're talking about, is more to do, okay, than what we saw in the American or British sitcoms. Okay, there's a couch and there's a man talking to somebody. There's a, man. Is that just it, or is that more than that? Or do you guys go?
One way of doing it, but there is a lot more to that.
Okay. So, I mean, I know this would be a very funny question. So, how do you grade TikTok guys? Is there anything, because the whole media is trying to, check what's wrong with them.
If I have to give it from a psychological point of view, well, they are probably seeking attention.
True. I agree to that, okay, because I think that's what is happening right now. So, okay, let me just take one more question for you. So, what is madness, by the way? What is madness for you? Because I feel that, okay, there are people who say that I'm mad behind maths and that's the reason, okay, I'm a mathematician. Some say I'm mad behind theater, that's the reason I'm a theater artist. So, do you think madness is good or is that bad or what? How do you evaluate in your structures, in your educational structure?
So in my structure, if I have to see, we wouldn't call anything mad. We may call it unusual. We may call it different, but we do not call it mad.
Okay, you would call it mad.
Yeah, lay people will say, okay, you're just crazy, you're mad. Yeah, but if I have to look very professionally, it does not happen that way. But giving the examples that you gave, that you're mad behind math and that's why you're in it, or kickboxing, or those kind of things, it's basically, in that case especially, your passion is what is driving you to do something. Okay. It's just that your passion is more outward and it can be seen, and the best way you can describe it is mad. Like, you really like doing something, or it is really your desire, your wish, your goal, anything, but it's just pushing you. So you might just, like, when we go to pubs, we like going crazy. Like you dance, you're drinking, you're doing everything. It's just that that's what you enjoy and you're just doing it. It's just that, it's just too much, or, you just do
Okay.
that. So
Okay.
that's how. Yeah.
Okay. I have, I mean, something which is very close to home. Now, I have even seen, okay, these motivational speakers. I find, okay, these guys to be playing with the dopamine, with the happy liquid which you have. Now, because people feel very happy when they watch it, but after some time, okay, life is back to square one.
Normal.
So, what exactly do you want to really say about this whole motivational business which is running right now on YouTube?
So, of course, the premise and the purpose is to motivate you, but in that sense, you somewhere need to realize that everything is not going to be happening exactly the way they talk. So in a moment, you do get charged up, but you have reality coming up in front of you just after you get off the talk, right? So we need to pick on what they say, on our situations and our unique style of dealing with certain things. So I may say, okay, I have an academic difficulty, I can't concentrate, but I know I have to get my grades. You're pushing, your focus is your grades, and all of those things are happening. But there could be certain limitation or certain different things that you would want to do to work on it. Now, what happens is motivational speakers may be talking generally and they might forget that bit of it. But we will apply everything the way they talk,
Okay.
forgetting to have our own unique thing coming up over there. So that balance goes haywire, which is why when you're listening to them, you are all pumped. And afterwards, when you're in reality, it just goes down.
But Kiran, I've got a very interesting question for you. If two psychiatrists talk to each other, what kind of patterns they try to put in?
I think if you would actually see them talking, they would be all there, just getting, the tech language out there. But it can be a very normal conversation too.
It can be, because I feel, when two brain readers are talking to each other, whose brain who's reading? Okay, that kind of questions you get sometimes. So I just felt maybe.
Yeah, that happens. That happens even with me. Many a times it has happened. And it's like, are you trying to analyze what I'm talking about?
It's okay. Sometimes you turn out to be a patient, okay, instead of being a doctor, right? Okay, I agree with that point. It's really funny, but I mean, that's how world is. It's, I mean, there are a lot of things to take care of and look at. So now I think, we have COVID and people have spent 8 to 9 months at home, increase their weight, bloated up. I just want to ask you, Kiran, I mean, what message you want to give, okay, to the mass right now who is dealing with a lot of mental issues? Because definitely staying at home, people thought would be a great idea, but actually people
it's getting overwhelming now. Yeah. So just two things I think this everybody can use. Follow your routine. Okay, there would have been a routine that you were used to prior to lockdown. Try being a part, create that routine the way it was. Divide your workspace from your home space. Like you would go to office, keep that one space in your house, even though you're working from home, as workspace. Keep that segregation. Detach off after your working hours. And please don't get lethargic when you get to work, because if you were to go out, you would have, dressed up, you would have done your certain things. Do it so that you are in that whole routine thing. And I think that is one major thing that really would work in dealing up with all of this stuff. Because it's like, when we are running late for work now, if you have to log in quickly, just open up a laptop and we're just there, even if we are in our pajamas. And then we spend a whole day also that way. So routine and your self-care.
Okay,
I always say self-care is very important, so just don't forget that.
Thank you. By the way, any books you want to suggest to the layman? Okay, people who would be able to just read and understand something about psychology. You would like to suggest some books?
Actually, it's a lot to do with mental health. I can't think of anything.
It's completely okay. It's completely okay, because I know there are many books you would be reading. And you know, the thing is,
The problem is they are all too clinical, so I
oh,
cannot
I
suggest.
understand. I understand because I know most of the times, okay, we go to so many levels, okay, and we have gone so far that we don't remember which book to suggest. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I completely agree. So, Kiran, before wrapping up, I would just like to say that I'm really happy to have you on my show. Definitely, people who would listen to and watch this show would really get a lot of benefits, because that's what it is. Okay, we have to make sure we keep coping up with our mental health and we keep going ahead. And you are a very important part of our society. So a salute to you from all my viewers and me too.
And you are doing a fantastic job. You are an important part because you're trying to reach out and you're spreading knowledge and fun, both happening together.
Okay,
That's like,
I'm so glad to hear that. Thank you, Kiran. Have a nice day. Enjoy.
you too. Have a nice day.
Bye.
Bye.